New Zealand's Doug Cowie officiated as an umpire at first-class level for more than 2 decades. Tests, ODIs, I think more than 70 one-day internationals. A World Cup, the '99 World Cup from memory, in England, and over 100 first-class games. Having watched the very public fallout of Australia's illegal ball tampering replayed to the masses over the weekend, he says the fact it appears to have been premeditated is what really grates.
It's very bad. Very bad, John. Bad for the game. It's very bad for Australian cricket. And I think it's very bad for Australians everywhere because it has become such a public thing. And it seems as though it was a premeditated thing, which is kind of not the spirit of the game, and it certainly doesn't look as though it was the spirit of the moment.
No, and that is... that's really insightful, and that is precisely the issue for me, because we all know from time to time a bowler tries it on unilaterally, spur of the moment stuff, but this does look like it was a decree from on high, and that makes it something altogether different, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does seem like the boys have had a bit of a think about this before they've done something which is against the spirit of the game and is going to do a lot of harm to them and the game.
Technically, what are you able to do as a fast bowler or a medium-pace bowler who is trying to get the ball to swing either away from the batsman so that they get caught behind, hopefully, or in towards the batsman so that they get bowled? What are you able to do? You're able to shine one side like crazy, and they all do, but what else are you able to do?
Well, you can perfect your bowling action so that it does make the ball swing in the way you want it to. So that's the first thing. It's the skill of the player. And bowling actions over the years, I think, have drifted away from classics like Richard Hadley, who could swing a ball, whether it was a brand new ball or whether it was an old ball. What you can do is very little other than you can protect the ball to keep either the whole ball or part of the ball in its original condition, and that assumes that you let the other part of the ball deteriorate through fair wear and tear. But you can't adjust the pace of that wear and tear by throwing the ball on the ground, scratching it, or adding something onto it, and so forth. So that's really the skill of the game: is which part of the ball you protect and which part of it you allow to deteriorate.
And
other than that, not much else you can do. No,
and if you try and do something else, at what stage does it become a Tier 2 offence? At what stage as an umpire would you have said, oi, you've crossed the line there?
Well, as soon as you detect that something funny is going on, and sometimes that's done in public where they'll try it out, adding sweat to the ball. I can remember a South African rubbing the ball under his armpit to get more sweat on it, and which seemed like a natural thing. You could apply sweat, but no, you're unnaturally changing the condition of the ball, so you can't do that. So anything that's going to change unnaturally change the condition of the ball, and the umpires are frequently looking at it and making regular inspections these days, probably more so than we did in our day, because they are aware that people will try these things. What needs to happen? How severe does the sentencing need to be to draw a really meaningful line in the sand? Well, it's very timely in a sense that I'm still involved in helping Auckland cricket get on top of similar problems in a much more minor way, where during the winter we intend to run education programs and awareness programs on just how to keep our game safer, fairer and freer of those unsavoury things that have come into the game and that get more publicity now than perhaps they used to in the past. So I think it's a big one, and it certainly will wake a few people up, and I'm sure it'll have a backlash, and we may see a swing back to the fairness and the appropriateness of behaviour that was written into the laws last year. So perversely, the Australians, completely without intending to, may have done us a favour, but I guess that will only be the case if the punishments meted out to them, which is separate from what the ICC is currently doing. This will be Cricket Australia that does this. Are very strong? Yes, and that too is a lesson for all cricket administrators and clubs, we don't just rely on the officials, the umpires, the referees, and the policing afterwards. We now have to go back to the roots of the game, the heart of the game, which is those that run the game for a club, for a country, or for a province, and ask those people to step up and make sure that their people are aware and well prepared.
Doug Cowie, who was an international test umpire, one day umpire the whole lot,